Wow. Project Hail Mary is really good. We have been so starved for genuinely very good films for a long time, and I am so happy that we are finally starting to get some good films back in the theaters. New modern films, not like re-releases of older films. And Project Hail Mary is one of those. And if I had to say some of the reasons why I think it's so good and why you should watch it, it's the heart of the movie. The characters they all feel very real and down to earth, especially considering that a lot of what occurs takes place with government officials. And typically speaking, government officials are made to look very stuffed shirt and like really, really put off and not human. But in this movie, they take a lot of care to make sure that even these government officials that you see really are just human beings who are also trying to do the best they can. And, the overall synopsis for the film is that there's parasites coming to consume the sun. And Ryan Gosling is one of the scientists working on the project, and he gets sent to space. And he meets an alien, and him and the alien team up to discover why one star won't be consumed by this pathogen, or it isn't being consumed by this pathogen, so they can go bring that information back to their respective planets and save their respective suns so their species can continue. Now, the story is very emotional, and it's one of those like really hopeful stories, which, by the way, hopeful stories, can we get more of these? It feels like hopeful stories are so hard to find nowadays, but this one, it's very hopeful. It has characters that just feel really alive. It makes you really root for the main character, and it makes you root for this rock object that turns out to be, a sentient alien species with this incredibly fun personality that's really down to earth. And then how they have to overcome their differences, and how they have to work together, and how they have to save each other from different experiences, and how each of them have their own culture, and they try and combine how each of them communicates to be able to work together, and how each of them having different specialties from their knowledge of how the universe works, whereas Rocky's planet has certain knowledge that the Earth doesn't have, and Ryan Gosling has information from Earth that Rocky doesn't have. It's just a masterclass. And the way the music is excellent, the humor it hits for me every single time that there's a joke. I laughed the amount that I think I was supposed to laugh for each joke. And the way it intercuts between the past and the present that's going on, to where you'll be seeing all these different elements happening around you. And you'll be trying to figure out things that you're trying to figure out information as Ryan Gosling is trying to figure out information, because he doesn't actually remember everything about his past or what he's supposed to be doing on the mission. But at different certain intervals, he will start to remember something about the past. And that's whenever you jump to the past and you get to see play out how he got here, what he did, what matters to him, and what kind of person he is. And I have to say, there are two incredibly emotional and important scenes from the past that, man, they hit really hard, and they show an excellent change of character, because there's a certain point where it doesn't show you information that he's remembered about himself, because the entire time you've been seeing him, he's been doing these incredibly insane things to try and make this mission work, and you're just like, this dude is determined, he's unstoppable, and he's going to get the job done. You're just like, this is an awesome, awesome man. And there's a certain scene, and it's the last scene from the past that you get to see, where it reframes everything you know about him and about his bravery and the things that he's willing to do. And whenever you see it, you're just like, wow. And the conversation between Ryan Gosling and Rocky that brings this information to light is incredibly, incredibly moving. And Ryan Gosling's performance in that moment will move you to tears. It did for me. It's just, man, does it hit. If I had the praises I have to give the film, incredibly well written. The shot composition is great. The colors of the film are great. The music is great. The acting, so human, all the way through. It's just like every element of this film just really hits, and I love that about the film. It just nails the atmosphere it's going for. The way that Ryan Gosling talks to Rocky, the way that Rocky talks to Ryan Gosling, the dialogue is superb. It feels so human, so interactive. Like if you were on a mission and you met another person who didn't understand your culture, the misunderstandings that occur, it's just like, dude, that's exactly how it is. You know, it's so awesome to experience life. And the way that the stakes build by revealing the past of not only Ryan Gosling's character and the people that he knew, but the way that you discover and Rocky's life back home. Not that you see anything from Rocky's planet. Spoilers, you do get a little bit of a glimpse at it at the very end. But just Rocky relaying and trying to, show Ryan Gosling who he is as a person and why he's on the mission that he's on. And why he's the only one on the mission, and then, Ryan Gosling having to recall why he's the only person on this mission. It leads to just some really incredible and opening moments. And if I had to say, there's one section where Rocky and Ryan Gosling are talking, and Ryan Gosling is on a suicide mission, and Rocky is expecting to go back home. And Rocky discovers that Ryan Gosling's on the suicide mission, and he's just like, you joined the mission knowing you wouldn't make it home? He's like, why would you do that? Like, what's a word to describe the kind of man who does that? And it's really, really poignant what Ryan Gosling does in that moment, because Ryan Gosling's character is not one who handles compliments well. And the way he tries to lie to Rocky, and the thing that he does, he doesn't tell Rocky something, but he types on the computer something, but he's not willing to say it out loud because he doesn't believe it about himself. And then Rocky tells Ryan Gosling, he goes like, hey, you came here to die, but I don't want you to die. I care about you. I can share with you the fuel that I have, and you can make it home. And the way Ryan Gosling acts in that scene and how he responds to this information will bring you to tears. It is so incredibly moving and beautiful to watch this moment occur between the two of them, because it's Ryan Gosling reconciling the fact he's not going home and not handling the information well, as he's finally allowing himself to say it out loud, and then to have hope that he gets to make it back home and that he's not going to die out here in the stars as a nobody and potentially fail, that no matter what, he's going home. That it's so moving. It's such a moving moment in the film. And let me tell you, it's 2 hour long film, but it does not feel 2 hours. Well, maybe it feels a little bit like 2 hours, but you're engaged the entire time. You want to watch the whole film. And let's just say there's a resolution that occurs, and it seems like everything's fine, and then it turns out to not be fine, and then a choice has to be made, and you wonder, knowing what you know at the point in the film that you're at, whether or not Ryan Gosling's character is going to make this choice. And then the choice that he makes in this moment, it extends the film, and you think it's going to be a sad ending, and then it turns out to not be a sad ending because of extra information that's given to you later. It's great. It's wonderful. But a part of me kind of wishes the film had ended slightly earlier, because my personal experience was the high of my emotion was the highest at a certain point, and then to extend the movie, adding this extra plot twist, it felt slightly wrong, and I never reached the same emotional high where they could have originally ended the movie. Do I think this makes the movie worse? No, because everything else that happens is still so worth seeing and knowing. But it's one of those moments where it's kind of like, it would have hit different. It would have been cool for the book audience to kind of have that secret ending to themselves and to have a movie that fit in a regular runtime, because movies are so long nowadays, and I gotta say, I really appreciate hour and 20 minutes. Great runtime for a film. Basically perfect runtime for a film. But for the book people, having that extra plot twist actually play out and getting to see it, and even for me, the audience member, having seen it, I was like, I really appreciated what they were able to do. So would I take points off of the film for it? No, even though ending the movie earlier would have left me in a different emotional state, and I would have gotten out of the theater earlier, the ending is still something incredibly joyful and worth knowing and seeing. So it's great. It's amazing. I highly, highly recommend this film. If you've not seen this film, go watch this film. I'm going to buy this film. That's how much I like this film. I'm going to get the 4K. If they got a Steelbook, I'm getting that Steelbook, baby. And maybe I'll add it to the collection over here in the future. But this is, short, minor spoilery review of Project Hail Mary. Oh, and another thing, the attention to detail in the background, the way dialogue loops around and becomes relevant later and or self-explains something you didn't know by showing you pieces from the past or by things that happen in the future. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to say this one thing. Pay attention to Skittles. That will demonstrate why I'm saying pay attention to the background. The way characters that you would assume originally would be stiff characters are humanized by the interactions of the main characters, and it makes everyone feel important or real and alive, and helps the theme of the story, which is like hope for humanity and the future and how we can work together to overcome obstacles and how everything is beautiful and how, life's beautiful and to how to overcome obstacles for the greater good. It's so wonderful and excellent. And to have the touch of having everyone in the background matter as much as the people in the foreground is one of the best ways to demonstrate that theme, that purpose in the movie. So I hope you enjoy the film as much as I did. If you've already seen it and you're just looking at another review, please let me know what you thought of the film. And if you go and see the film based on my recommendation, come back and leave a comment on what you thought about the film and if I gave an accurate and deserving description for how the film moves you. But I hope you like this, and I hope you come back. If you liked this, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, and see you again.